Hi everyone, this video is going to be my kind of skincare routine for nighttime. This is when I'm doing all my products like my mask and everything like that. So I'm just going to talk you through step by step on what I use on my skin, what I like, what I don't like. I have got oily skin, so this is what I use for my skin. So we'll just jump straight into it. So the first thing I'm going to be using to take the majority of my makeup off is the Body Shop Camomile Scrumptious Cleansing Butter. I really like this because it does really help to dissolve all your makeup, and it just looks like this. So I'm just going to take a bit out onto my finger, so about that much. It's probably about the size, if you put it together, about of a 20p piece. So I'm just going to pop it in my hands like that and then just rub it into my skin. And you are able to use this on your eyes as well to take all your makeup off, and as you can see it just melts it all away. I already tied my hair up in preparation for this because having your hair down and just clipped at the side is not good enough when you're trying to take all your makeup off. So make sure you get all of your jawline. That is kind of one of the areas that does get missed. As you can see, this is where my face completely goes black. Right. So to take all that off, I'm just going to be using 2 pads, and I've just covered them all in this stuff. Great. And as you can see, you're not really pulling at your skin, you're just wiping it all off. Right, okay, and the next step I'm going to do is that has taken pretty much all my makeup off, but obviously it's not taken all the makeup off that is in your pores. So I'm going to be taking, which is, I've just dampened it, just the brush head. It's not clear on it, it's the Easy Home one. I got this, I think, for Christmas a couple of years ago, so I don't really know where it's from. And with that, I'm just going to be taking the Neutrogena Visibly Clear Pink Grapefruit Facial Wash. So I just probably put probably about a pump just on, just like that. You can see it. So I'm just going to turn it on. So I'm doing it in circular motions like that. So I'm just going to turn it on now. And then it'll slowly start to just foam up a little bit. Now that that's all done, as you can see how much makeup has actually come out. That was white when we started, it's not anymore. Now that that's done, I'm just going to go to the bathroom, rinse this off my face and then just pat dry with a towel, and then I'll come back. And as you can see with that, it does make my face a little bit red. I do have really sensitive skin, so that's why. It's nothing to do with the product or anything. So for the next thing, I'm going to be taking, again, Neutrogena, and this is the Visibly Clear. It's the pink grapefruit one, but this is the daily scrub, and I really like this because it's quite fine and it's not too harsh on your skin. I do like to apply this to my skin when it's just dry and it's just been blotted dry with a towel, because I get a few little bumps on my cheeks, and I do think it helps to kind of do that without using a really intense scrub, which can sometimes make my skin worse. So I'm just taking about that much, rubbing it between my fingers and then just applying it. I do really like the Neutrogena range, well, especially the pink grapefruit one. I think it's really good if you've got a few problems on your skin. It does really help. I have tried a couple of other ones. Unfortunately, I've got to be really careful with what skincare I use, because I am actually allergic to an ingredient which is in quite a lot of products for oily skin, because it's actually an anti, it helps to fight a bit of acne and things, and I'm allergic to it. So I've got to be careful with what I pop on my skin. Right, so now that all that's rubbed in, it kind of stops going white and it goes clear. So with this, I'm just going to go and rinse all this off the same that I did with the face wash and just tap dry, and then I'll come back. Now that all that's off, my skin's feeling a lot better. It's feeling nice and cleansed. All the any kind of rough bits that I get on my skin, any bumps that I get, they've kind of gone down a little bit. Obviously I do have two kind of biggish spots there, but there's nothing we can do about that. For my mask this evening, I'm going to be using the Kaeso Beauty. It's the rebalancing one. I do really like this. I think it's really good. We use it in the salon that I work in as well. I really like their products. Specifically the mask, I've always really liked the mask that they do. It just looks like this inside. It's just kind of like a clay mask. I do like to use a spatula to get it out. I just think it's a bit more hygienic. It's just something that I've always done if it's been in like a pot. So all I'm going to do is take some and pop it on the back of my hand like that. And then to do this, I'm just going to use my finger to apply it onto the skin. So you want to get a nice even layer of the mask on your skin. I think this really helps with oil control, but it's not one that's too drying, which is really quite nice. With the fact that you use a spatula, if you run out, which I'm not going to today, like, you know, run out on the back of your hand, you're not then putting your finger back in that's touched your face. Like, I know you've just cleaned your face, but you're not then, like, I've got a couple of spots on my face, so when you're scrubbing them, obviously it can open them up a little bit. So you're not like cross-contaminating it. This is what the face mask looks like on. So I'm just going to leave this on for about 10 minutes and then I'll come back when I've rinsed it off. All I'm going to do to rinse it off is I'm just going to use the same sponges that I used, and all I do is press it in to kind of any of the areas that have set a little bit, and then what that does is it makes it easy to move off, and then you're not pulling at your skin, and then just rinse it off in the sink and then tap dry, and then I will come back. Okay, right, and that's me back. As you can see, that mask has just given my skin a bit more of a youthful shine. It has cooled down that redness a little bit because obviously now I've not been really scrubbing at my face. My skin has improved an awful lot since sticking to this routine on an evening. I don't do the mask every night. I probably do it about 2 to 3 times a week. Everything else I use every night, including the next 3 products that I'm about to show you. Every other one of the products that I use every night. I'll probably do a different video on what I use in the morning so that they can kind of see what I use and how I prep my face for my makeup to go on. So the next thing that I am going to use, which I absolutely love, and for the reason that if you have any slightest bit of makeup, which you should not do after all of these steps, if you do, then this is when it comes out. And I love this because it kind of gives it a bit of a tingling sensation, and it's the Body Shop Chinese, God, I can never pronounce this word, Ginseng rice. I'm not good at pronouncing that, so I'm sorry if I've done it wrong. And this is just a clarifying milky toner, and I love this. It kind of gives your face a tingling feeling, and it smells amazing as well. So I'm just going to take 2 little cotton pads, pour some of this onto here. Right, so now that I've done that, I'm just taking my 2 cotton pads and just slowly wiping them all over my face. And also, which I'm not actually doing today because I only did it 2 nights ago, I do a blackhead remover pore strip, probably about once to twice a week. A lot of the times I can just get away with once, and I just use it on my nose because my nose is quite bad for getting little blackheads. But I don't like to use it too frequently if I don't actually need it. So we're just going to let that soak in now, and it's starting to get a little tingling feeling. So yeah, all of the products that I use, I don't use one brand. I do have other cleansers that I do swap in and out with, other than just using the Body Shop cleansing butter. I do have the rest of the Kaeso range, the rebalancing range that this mask is in. I do have the rest of that, and I do swap and change like the cleanser in with that. But the only downside, sometimes I don't feel as though it gets all of my makeup off. Like I would need to do it a couple of times, which is fine, but if I'm in a rush, I know that that just gets it off, and it's easy like I am tonight because I'm doing this, and then like I don't really want to be spending tonight doing it. It's a nice night, which is quite nice for once. So the next thing I'm going to be taking is the Body Shop Vitamin E Moisturising Cream, and this is just the normal one, it's not the nighttime one. I haven't actually tried the nighttime one. I do want to get that to try it. I do like a few of the Body Shop stuff, although Body Shop is a brand that I do need to be careful of. I'm actually allergic to is benzoyl peroxide, which doesn't seem as though it's in a lot of stuff, but it is actually in a few of the Body Shop things, and benzyl alcohol as well, which the seaweed range for the Body Shop, which I do actually really wanted to try. Near enough all of the products have it in when I looked online, so I do want to go into the shop and have a little look, so it's so much easier than if you're trying to look online. When you're trying to look online, it's just such a nightmare because you're scrolling through them all, whereas if you're in a shop, you can just look on the back and it says if it's in it or not. Next thing that I'm taking, which is the last thing, is the Body Shop Drops of Light, and this is just the brightening eye cream, which I love, and I do like this for the days that I wear no makeup as well, because it does actually have a slight tint to it. It looks like a lot on my hand, but it's not when you put it on under your eye. I'll just show you. And I do really like the cooling sensation that it gives off. Right, so then I'm just going to pat that in. I do have another eye cream that I like to switch up with this one, but I've just run out of it. It is the Kaeso Beauty one. When I get that back in, I'll show you, because I do like to use that before I put my makeup on. And then the last step that I do is I just pop a little bit of Vaseline on my lips, just to hydrate them. I do really like it because it's just simple, hydrates them nice and easy, and it's done. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please give it a like and hit the subscribe button and the little bell if you haven't already. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.